And who doesn't love joining a club? I just saw the ghost fly by your lens again.
Now everyone saw it. Derek just saw a ghost. I don't believe in ghosts.
That's weird. What if I showed you video proof that there was a ghost in your lens? You'd find some way to explain it away?
Well,
Same but different. Come listen to these idiots talk about some movies when no one really asked for it. We're bad at sports, we don't have jobs, we're proud to be these nerds. And always remember, spoiler alert.
Welcome back to Same But Different. I'm Derek. This is Brody. Oh,
Brody.
My bad.
That's okay.
He has a voice of his own. We're Same But Different. We're here to review old movies, new movies, but specifically this month is MOBFIA March. We are halfway through MOBFIA March, and we're going through old MOBFIA movies, Mafia and mob movies.
Either or.
Yeah. This week we watched The Untouchables, which I had seen a long time ago and don't remember at all. I remember one scene, and then I guess you have not seen.
No, I've never seen. That's what we like to do on the show too. Is we do themes and we pick movies we've never seen, right? Or try to. And yeah, this one I had never seen. I've never seen most of the movies this month, or any of them. So it's a fun little movie club.
Yes, a movie club. I love that. And who doesn't love joining a club? I just saw the ghost fly by your lens again.
Now everyone saw it.
Okay, there's video proof. I'm going to show it to you.
That's not proof that it's a ghost, though.
Well, it said boo. If you haven't guessed already, we are brothers. So we've been talking movies since literally one of us were born. Yeah, it's just fun. Throughout the week, you'll also see shorts and TikToks and Instagram reels of us, of the clips of the video. So if you don't have time to watch the whole video, watch the shorts. We'd be more than happy about that.
Like, watch everything.
Yeah.
Do it all. Just watch it all.
Like, subscribe to the channel. That would be amazing. Let's get this thing going. And then comment below on anything, really. This is an open discussion, an open forum where we can discuss movies. Let's kick it off with some movie news. This is from the past week. Let's get the sad stuff out of the way.
No, I knew you were going to start with this.
Yeah, Lance Reddick has passed away, seemingly of natural causes. He was just found in his house. Well, he's 60, and although not old, we've known people to die of heart attacks at 60 or 60-ish.
Do you call a heart attack a natural cause?
100%.
Oh, okay.
What else would it be?
I don't know. An organ failure?
That's natural, though.
There's no such thing.
You think natural causes is literally just like passing away? Just like the end? Oh, man.
I don't know what anything is anymore.
It's sad news because he was a force. Every time he came on screen, his voice, his presence.
Yeah.
It was just incredible. And it's really upsetting to see him go. And then in the same day, Sam Neill, Alan Grant from Jurassic Park, came out and said that he had stage 3 blood cancer. Blood cancer. That's like the worst type. One of the worst types.
Is it? Oh, I didn't do any research. I just would have got sadder.
I can only imagine because it's not something that you can easily just go in and remove. It's also stage 3. He's being treated for it, so love goes out to him and his family as well, and friends. If he goes, I'm gonna cry so hard.
Stop it. Happy stuff now.
Okay, happy stuff. Moving on. Guillermo del Toro announced that he's doing a Frankenstein movie.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I don't know if it's live action or if it's stop motion or animated or anything like that yet. I'm pretty sure it's live action. So far, we have 3 people cast.
The casting news came with the announcement. That's rare.
Yes, the casting news came with the announcement.
Okay.
Andrew Garfield and Oscar Isaac.
Okay. So I'm going to assume Oscar Isaac would play the monster. Garfield could be Dr. Frankenstein. And then what? Is Igor?
No, it's probably Victor Frankenstein's girlfriend or wife.
Okay. All right. Cool. I mean,
that's trying to impress.
That's some talent.
Yeah, and Guillermo del Toro behind, and he's amazing at monster anything. So bring it on.
All right.
Moving on, John Wick 4. I just want to praise it for. We haven't seen it. Let's get this straight. We haven't seen it, but it is just getting amazing reviews across the board, and many are calling it the best action film of the modern era.
when does the modern era start? Because if you're gonna dethrone Die Hard, you're not gonna do that.
Maybe
you know?
maybe that's not modern era. Maybe that can be like, because 90s stuff is considered vintage now. So
I guess that's
gotta
true.
move on
Yeah.
from that. Some even call it the best action movie. Like, it's incredible to me that the fourth installment of a film can just continue to be fresh and amazing and blow people's minds. Like, it's awesome.
Look, this is gonna be controversial, but
boy. Oh boy.
Indiana Jones 4, Crystal Skull. I don't care what anyone says. It's a pretty solid, fun flick, and it's just, you know, it's still good. It's still a fun act. If 4 can still, you don't need to go downhill.
No, Brody.
It's not good. It's not good. The first 3 are far superior, but 4 isn't as bad as people made it out to be. That it's not. It's not.
I'll get on board with that. I still think it's pretty bad, but it's not as bad as people made it out to me. So like, there's the difference there.
We didn't need Shia LaBeouf swinging on the vines. That was it. And the lead refrigerator thing was ridiculous too. But people that were upset about it being aliens, like, clearly never watched the other movies. It's always magical and sci-fi. Like, I'm getting off.
I loved that aspect. The CGI alone put that movie in the ground for me. More casting news. Denzel Washington
Who's he?
has joined the Wow. One of the most prolific actors of our time. Denzel Washington has joined the cast of Gladiator 2. Gladiator 2 is happening. Ridley Scott is doing it.
Okay.
And
Sure.
And Barry Keoghan has also signed on.
Ooh. Up and coming. Love him. Very excited.
Gladiator is a very good movie. Some people have that on like their top favorites of all time. And it revolves around a single character story arc. I don't know how a Gladiator 2 would unfold.
It doesn't matter. It might just be in the same realm. It doesn't need to be, I don't know.
That's true. The weight behind Gladiator was like Russell Crowe's character, but whatever. Final piece of news, at least the final piece of news that I cared about, and you probably won't care, but it's interesting as far as like entertainment goes. Zack Snyder dropped on his Twitter a tease for potentially continuing his DC universe. But it doesn't make any sense to me because it's already been canceled. People don't want it to be, obviously. People are vying for Netflix or somebody to pick up Zack Snyder to let him continue his story. But it was a very cryptic message. It was a transmission incoming from Darkseid. And it was Darkseid's voice, the actor who voiced Darkseid in the Justice League. There was a message attached to it saying something like coming full circle or something like that. I don't know. We're going to know at the end of April what that means, but why? What is he doing? Is he? I don't know.
You know the expression, if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm of the mindset that if it is broken, fix it. And the DCEU is broken and they need to stop. They need to stop holding on to it. It's done. Let it go. It's the next wave. They can try again. This failed. It's broken. It's all miscommunicated and it's a hodgepodge. And they need to give up.
Yes, I agree.
Sometimes you got to give up.
I agree. I wouldn't mind. See, I'm okay. And you know, I love James Gunn. Take it away. Take it away, James Gunn. Do whatever you want. Make it a new universe. Make it amazing. I know you will. I wouldn't mind if Zack Snyder got to do Justice League 2 and 3 to finish off his projected trilogy that he wanted to do. Not any more movies, just Justice League 2 and 3. Like, finish off the trilogy and give us a Justice League trilogy. That would be pretty sweet.
I mean, I did like the Snyder cut. I did.
There you go. And Brody doesn't really like superhero movies that often, so.
It's true. I have one piece of movie news.
Oh, okay.
Just super duper quick. And I've been texting you about this. You already know. I just want to go on the record. Derek and I are huge horror fans. Evil Dead Rise had a screening. It's not out for another month, but it launched with only like 80 reviews at an 8.7. I checked today. It's got like 100 more reviews and it's at an 8.9. And I'm so excited. And I love Evil Dead. And I can't wait for it.
I'm so excited, dude.
Even if that drops 2 full points, it's still going to be at like a 7, which is better than I think people are anticipating for this kind of movie, right?
True.
Like an 8.9 for a horror movie?
Unheard of.
Woo!
Unheard of. And now, if only we can get horror movies into the Oscars, then we win.
Few and far between, you know, like Toni Collette in Hereditary should have got a nom for sure. Horror movies should try harder.
Yeah, the horror movies should try harder. Yeah, I'm super excited for Evil Dead, and I love that Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi still have their fingers in this pot. Is that a phrase?
think so. What?
I don't know.
All right, yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut my tongue in half for the premiere.
Oh,
Show up.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
That was one of the most fucked up parts.
It's hard to watch. Let's talk about the Untouchables. I'm gonna get a little brighter here. I'm gonna take my glasses off because there's a lot of a glare.
Bruce.
And this giant notepad makes me quite bright. So like light bright.
Oh, you meant like luminescence. Okay.
Did you think I was gonna get smarter?
Yeah. You're just like, let me
Ship has sailed.
let me just hone my intelligence real quick.
Yeah. I don't have my fingers in enough pot to be smart. Pot. Damn it. It was right there.
Fuck you.
We'll start our own podcast and we'll call it Fingers in a Potcast. And then we're good to go. Get into the nitty gritty that is 1987's The Untouchables. This movie, in my opinion, is a prime example that just because the director makes a garbage movie, a la Scarface, doesn't mean that director can't go on and do something wonderful. Because I think that's the best adjective for this movie is wonderful. Like, it wasn't groundbreaking. It wasn't amazing. It was just wonderful. It was fun. It was classy. It was whimsical. It was a very, very nice cross between, you know, your classic gangster cop story and like a shoot 'em up, which I don't think you get to see too often. I guess that's just maybe what Brian De Palma does. This just worked so much better than Scarface because, like, you know, it's actually an incredibly likable lead character who has morals and has growth, went from being an underdog to being top dog. Like, there's actually something there to care about. Whereas, and now I'm just, you know, comparing and contrasting the two, but Scarface didn't have that. He was a horrible man and he ended a horrible man. Go back and watch that review if you really care. All of the action scenes were so fun to watch. They never felt stale. You know, like the bit at the Canadian border, there was the bit in the train station, the rooftop chase. They were all so different. It kept impressing me. We could have got the same kind of thing at the Canadian border later, and it would have been like, but they kept changing it up, and it was so gripping and fun. However, just real quick sidebar, that bit where the mother was trying to get the baby up the stairs,
Oh my god.
way too long.
Dude.
The intensity of Kevin Costner going, and this mom puts her suitcase down, moves the baby, picks the baby up, puts it down, it was driving me nuts. I was losing my mind. It went on for like 5+ minutes.
There's an expression in film school that we learned about stretching a rubber band. Have you ever heard this?
I get it already, but
yeah, when you write tension, you're supposed to stretch the rubber band just enough before it breaks, and that's the sweet spot. If it breaks, you failed. And like in that scene, it failed. They broke the rubber band. I literally screamed at the TV. Like, Victoria was sitting beside me and I was just like, go!
Right? But once that baby was at the top of the stairs, that was a great scene, man.
Yeah.
And when Stone came in and like tossed the gun and then slid and saved the baby, all that whole scene was slow motion too.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. The dialogue in the script, the machine gun, David Mamet, you know, what do you think? What do I think? What do you think? It was very fitting for this kind of movie. It was very fun. The score was the best part of the movie, in my opinion.
Yes.
The score of this movie was heroic and adventurous and grand and always fit. And the saxophone solo when Sean Connery goes, it's all so good. And I think this might be a De Palma trope as well, even though he's not the cinematographer. But I love how the camera was a character. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. The camera moved in every single shot of the movie. It was moving. And there were some times that it was actually like first person when they were breaking into Sean Connery's room and all that. Like, the camera was a character and it was so intriguing. All such good stuff. Enjoyed it a lot. What I didn't like, it's not that they're not that heavy. They're honestly kind of just Brody gripes. One is that Malone, Sean Connery, and Wallace, I don't know the actor's name, they die too early and they die too close together.
Oh, okay.
I think The Untouchables themselves, especially when they first left that police station and were walking across the streets and the music was swelling, and I was like, oh my God, these guys are amazing. It was so, like I said, grand adventure feeling. And I just wanted to see like one or two more good scenes with them. I feel like they robbed us of who the Untouchables were a little too soon and too quickly. Like I said, like I think maybe 10 minutes after Wallace died, it was Sean Connery's big death scene. I felt like there was a lot of movie left when I feel like there was almost an hour left. Some of the scenes were too drawn out. That baby in the carriage scene is my prime example, but it did happen a few times in this movie where the scenes just kept going. I'm like, you can end, it's fine, time to cut, and it just didn't. My other thing is, this one is more, maybe I just didn't get the tone they were going for, but the acting, during the conversationally, I think the acting was fine. I think everybody did a fine job. Kevin Costner arguably being the weakest in the movie, which was weird for me. But when things got heated or intense or people were yelling, and this includes Sean Connery and Robert De Niro, it just seemed fake and caricature-ish almost. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel genuine. And again, that might be the point, you know, like a larger-than-life heroic adventure movie. I'm interested to hear what you think when you go, because something about just like Kevin Costner screaming like, where's the baby, and like running up the stairs or whatever, it just felt weird a lot of the time.
I know I feel exactly the same way. I pinpointed exactly why.
Interesting.
Yeah,
overall I had a blast with this movie. I can't say it was like, I think well, you know, it only has a 7.6 or something, so I guess I can't say it's overrated, because I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, but solely because I had so much fun with it. I don't think, like I started this review with, I don't think this is any movie that deserved, like, Sean Connery didn't deserve the Oscar for this, I don't think.
Okay.
There's only one, and I'm happy that he has an Oscar. He deserves an Oscar.
Two things.
But, okay.
Two things. Because I discussed this with Victoria earlier today. Sean Connery, in his movie repertoire, doesn't have good movies. Doesn't have good... Like...
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen deserved all the Oscars.
No. That's not real, right? That's not real. Okay. He doesn't have Oscar-winning performances prior or after this at all. Indiana Jones, maybe. But even that, it's just like...
He's good, for sure.
Yeah, but he's just not in good movies, and he has, like, a caricature roles. He's definitely not winning an Oscar for James Bond.
No. Okay.
There's that. So compared to the rest of his movies, probably this one may be his best acting.
Again, he was good in most of the scenes. He was good. I don't think any of this movie breached incredible film, you know?
No. And then my second point to that is that Sean Connery was at a point in his career where I feel like the Academy was just like, here.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Here you go. Yeah, I actually should have looked up who he was against that year for Best Supporting Actor. But
oh, that'd be cool.
Any which way but loose, or whatever that expression is, despite me kind of sounding like I'm shitting on this movie by saying it wasn't as good as I think it could have been, I still had an absolute blast, and I personally am giving it an 8 out of 10. Yes.
Okay, cool. And an 8 out of 10 is what you gave Road to Perdition. So you think
I like these for very different reasons. And now that I might 7.5 Road to Perdition in hindsight, but the video's out, so I can't really do that.
Okay.
I would say I enjoyed this more. I'm excited to rewatch this one day. You know, I will never watch Road to Perdition again. This one I can see myself revisiting, because there were just so many moments that stuck out as like pinnacle moments of the movie. And that doesn't usually there's one or two scenes that those movies get, and there was so many in this one. I don't know, loved it.
Okay, cool. We're definitely same but different on this one.
Oh, he didn't like it.
No, not to that extent. To the extent that I liked Road to Perdition a little bit more. Sean Connery, I thought, was the best part of the movie. No, sorry, the music was. I agree with you on that. The best actor in the movie, I think, was Sean Connery. I really enjoyed the lines he was given and the way he executed them, and his character. There's a backstory badassery to him that he's just like he's like this old man beat cop, but really he's got like a dark backstory. I want to see that prequel. Like, I want to know where he came from. Like, it's so cool. So that, to me, was the most interesting character. Kevin Costner was all right.
That's it, right?
He was all right. And this is where my theory comes in. The pinpointed bad acting theory. And I only saw it with Kevin Costner personally. I don't know. You saw this with maybe a little bit with De Niro as well, but I saw it mostly with Kevin Costner.
I saw it with Wallace too.
He didn't act with his eyes. He only acted with the lower half of his face. If you go back and watch when he's expressing anything else but like normal dialogue conversation, his eyes are dead. There's no widening or there's nothing. There are many times where he's just like expressive with his mouth and not with his eyes. And it just bugged the hell out of me. Came across as bad acting.
Weird. I didn't notice that. Okay.
That being said, he was a great character. Great story,
yes.
Great story arc, great family man, all-American dad sort of thing. And he was a very heroic character to follow, which was nice. Robert De Niro was really cool. He turned what usually is a glorified character, not just Al Capone, but like big mobster person.
Sure.
They're always glorified as like these awesome, sweet ass people who like rule the world or whatever.
Sweet ass.
Yeah. But like, yeah, Robert De Niro and his performance, but also coupled with Brian De Palma and David Mamet, they turned Al Capone into a big baby.
Oh yeah.
He was just a big baby who hid away in his ivory tower and argued like a child too. He's like, "You want to come after me? Well, I'm gonna come after you then."
I'm gonna kill him and his family.
Yeah. He was just a big baby. And like when he got sentenced at the end, he's like, "What do you say to me? What do you say? Come on, say it to me again. What do you say?"
Yeah. That's actually really funny. Al Capone looks like a big baby
He's
too.
a big baby.
Yeah.
And he gets put down with one sentence. There endeth the lesson. And fuck you. I think Andy Garcia's Giuseppe was terribly underused.
Agreed.
The moments he got were incredible, and I know it was early on in Andy Garcia's career, so maybe that's why he got like the role that he did. But he could have been swapped out with Kevin Costner, and it would have been cool too.
Oh, interesting.
He
Okay.
He could have led that heroism type of character.
I mean, that train station scene was my favorite in the movie, and he was a part of that, so I'm happy.
Yeah, no, it was incredible. And that was the best part, like when he slid in, caught the baby, threw the gun, like that was so, and then shot the dude. Oh, it was just holding, he's like, "You got him? I got him."
Yeah. They don't do that in movies enough. Like,
No.
I know there's something to do with, like, if you get shot, you might accidentally pull the trigger, but whenever someone has a gun or a knife to someone, it's like they're invincible. Just shoot them.
I know, and they're always to the side.
Yeah.
Always to the side, exposing their face. Just shoot them. And it was cool that they expressed earlier in the movie that he was the best shot at the Academy. So like
He can hit that.
It worked. It worked. Felt like I was watching like a golden age movie from the black and white era, but like in color, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's how exuberant it was with the music. Like it was so cool. Each one of the deaths, although I do agree were too close together, they did hold emotional weight, which I really liked. The movie took its time building the characters enough for me to care about them, so that when they did die, I was like, "Oh no!" Like, especially Wallace. Like, I didn't want him to die, man. He was so cool,
and he didn't have to. Sean Connery made sense.
Yes.
He was gonna go. That was the point that needed to happen for the ending. But I didn't want Wallace to go either.
No,
I mean, without even a fighting chance.
Exactly, and that's when you know you've written a good character, when you actually like really feel it when he goes. Sean Connery, yes, he was good to go. However, he gets shot like 75 times and still lives somehow.
And there's this scream.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, the Canadian border scene was very cool because, and this is why I liked, not purely, but this is why I liked Wallace so much, is that he just one-man armied that whole fucking scene, dude.
Yeah.
With a shotgun, no less. Like, long range, just blowing people away. And he's like this little guy
charges at the guy.
It's this little dude who's like presumably never even held a gun before, maybe in training, but he's just an accountant. Loved that.
It's another example of what this movie broke the trope of, you know, when people run out of ammo in movies, they throw their gun.
Yes.
Why ever do people do that? But he's like, "Oh, out of ammo. I guess I'm charging this guy." It's great. It's great.
It's fantastic. The courtroom climax was really engaging because it didn't just stay in the courtroom. We took a break to chase the guy across the rooftops.
Yeah,
which was really awesome.
Also a great scene.
Right? And then throwing him off at the end, showing that Kevin Costner Sean Connery's like, what are you willing to do? Like, that's what he was willing to do. It was so cool. And the final line in the movie was so perfectly written. Like, what are you going to do? I'm going to have a drink. Like, that was so chef's kiss. Like, that was, couldn't have written it better. Like, that was so good. Okay, so what I didn't like, and this is a glaring one for me, unfortunately, there was a missing family dynamic. As much as we got Elliot Ness's family, the weight of his family and what they meant to him was missing a little bit. We got to see him be at home with them and, you know, act the man of the house and the hero going to work. And if his wife said something meaningful to him, or like they had a conversation that inspired him and motivated him to go forward and do something or not do something, maybe she could have been against what he was doing and tried to hold him back. That would have been fine too, but just some sort of multi-dimensional character to the wife and maybe even the daughter would have been better. But that's just the product of the times, I guess, and De Palma, because he doesn't like to write his women or direct his women very well. And Mamet too, like he just writes for dudes.
Yeah. But especially because those people were fictionalized. That was Elliot Ness. I mean, he did have a wife, but he never had a daughter. Like, those people were made for this movie, and then they used them wrong, which is an interesting...
They're just fodder. Like, you could have used them to enhance your main character in some way, and all it did was give us the fact that he had a family. Yeah. That's it. But, like, use them to improve your character. I wish there was at least one more interaction between Elliot Ness and Al Capone. The fact that we only got the one, and then at the ending, I just wish there was one more interaction between the two, just to get that like nemesis feeling from them, because otherwise it felt like Elliot Ness, which is fine, but it felt like he was just chasing some faceless guy who's the bad guy in Chicago because somebody said so. Like, I wish there was some like personal stake in it a little bit too, because there was on Al Capone's end. He's like, let's get this Elliot Ness. I need to kill him. He's ruining everything for me. But like, there was no personal stake on Elliot's side. And I just wish there was one more interaction to kind of like get him there. And that's it.
Devil's advocate, obviously, but I did read all the trivia, and they never met in real life. So the movie doing it twice is already better than never.
Fair enough. From a story perspective,
I agree.
Could have done one more. I really enjoyed the movie. I had a fun time with it. It felt like I was watching like a true Hollywood film. I gave it a 7.5. So not that far off.
We just swapped them, really. Okay.
Yeah, not that far off, but yeah, 7.5. I very much enjoyed my time with it.
That's excellent. I'm glad. I'm excited to rewatch it. I feel like I want to like tell people to watch it if they haven't seen it. That's how much it's fun, you know?
Yeah.
I want to say two quick things. One is a piece of trivia. One was my favorite line in the movie. Did you notice that everybody who drank booze died in the movie? Anybody who drank booze later died, which is interesting.
But did everyone who died drink booze?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Interesting. Okay. That's a cool fact, though.
Yeah, it is. So my favorite quote, and this just killed me. I don't know if it's good writing or so I don't know. I don't know if this was Mamet doing this on purpose, but it made me laugh. When it's toward the end in the courtroom, when he's talking to the judge, and he's like, you need to swap out these juries. And he says, I'll be the judge of what I could do. Like, I laughed out loud, and I don't know if it was supposed to be funny or not.
I don't know if it was.
It's a common expression, but also a very, very funny and fitting pun. It was my favorite quote the whole movie. I loved it.
That's incredible. I mean, I remember the line, and I remember like going like, but like,
it killed me. I was like, perfect. What a perfect thing to say.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Love that. Oh, the movie.
Magical hat of movie choices.
The movie for next week. What are we going to watch? I'm so excited.
Oh, one fell out. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to let one fall out.
What if more than one falls out next time?
And we stop doing the show.
Canceled. Over.
Oh, dear. It's a big one.
What is it?
It's a big one.
What is it? What are we watching? Goodfellas?
Goodfellas.
Martin Scorsese is the godfather. Excuse the pun. The godfather of all mafia movies.
This and The Godfather and maybe Once Upon a Time in America are like the ones. And I've never seen it. All right, let's do our. Shall we do our top 5? I would like to say that Die Hard would be number 1, but I don't consider it a cop movie. That's okay. If it's on your list, it's on your list. I didn't put it on my list because, well, he's a cop. It's not a cop movie. I made sure my movies are about cops. And we did start doing these in order for any people who watched back when we streamed. We just gave 5. Now we're ordering them. Derek hates it. I love it. An added challenge. I think it's fun. Number 5, Super Troopers. I love Super Troopers so much.
That's a good call.
Absolutely, Super Troopers is on my list.
Okay.
Number 4, I am going to give it to the Untouchables.
Ooh.
I just, like I said, I can't stress enough how delightful this movie made me feel.
It's always fun when we watch a movie and it makes our list.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
really cool. All right.
Number 3, and I know I've talked about this a lot and you've never seen it.
Oh.
The Place Beyond the Pines.
Right.
Now,
that's about cops?
Well, okay, so I can't get too into it because part of the charm of this movie is how it's presented to you. But there is a large portion about cops, yes.
Okay. I gotta watch that movie, man.
You really do. I love that movie. I've been telling you to watch it for 10 years. Number 2, and I'm surprised I put a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal this high on any list, End of Watch.
Oh, okay. Okay.
End of Watch, if not for the next one, which in my opinion is perfect, End of Watch is probably the best cop movie ever made.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie, and I should probably put it on my list, but I can't now. So
you can't now. And then number 1 is Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead are both Shaun of the Dead are both 10 out of 10 perfect movies for me. So while I think End of Watch objectively deserves number 1, I'm giving it to Hot Fuzz. You changing up your list there, bud?
Yep.
I forgot.
I sure am.
You weren't thinking comedies. Well, End of Watch isn't a comedy, but Super Troopers and Hot Fuzz.
Oh, 21 Jump Street, though.
I know. That would have been a mention if we were doing honorable mentions still.
Fantastic list.
Thank you. I'm pretty happy with it.
And now we only share one. Hot Fuzz.
Okay.
Number 5, Fargo.
Oh, Fargo's a good okay.
One of Coen Brothers' greatest movies. I feel like my favorite would be No Country for Old Men, but this is top 3 for sure.
I think mine would be Burn After Reading. Is that weird?
Yeah, because although I love that movie, it's very far down on their list, in my opinion.
I loved it. Anyway.
No, I loved it too. It's just not. Yeah. Number 4, Hot Fuzz.
Yeah. Okay.
Hot Fuzz took the spot of 21 Jump Street. Because I tried to think comedy, and I was like, oh, that's a comedy, and I'll put it on.
Sure.
Okay, number 3. And this is where we get into, maybe it's a cop movie, maybe it's not, because there's a cop in it. Prisoners. Denis Villeneuve's Prisoners.
Oh.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
You know this. This. He gives me the same reaction every time. Look at this stupid face. You know this.
I have it on Blu-ray. Come over right now.
Okay. All right.
What? Are you kidding me still? Ugh. I didn't put End of Watch on there. It belongs up here, I think. But as far as Jake Gyllenhaal, cop, Prisoners, 100%.
Okay.
Number 2, another one of my favorite directors, Seven.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's a cop movie.
Seven is a cop movie. I saw it for the first time last year, I think, and Derek spoiled the ending for me 15 years ago, so it didn't pack that heavy for me, but I liked it. It was a good movie. It's a good movie, but I didn't like the ending. Not the twist after that. I didn't like how it ended, but it's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah, to me, 7 is not about the ending. It's about the journey. Number 1, unequivocally, Die Hard.
Okay, see, and of course, although I don't know if I would give Die Hard a 10 out of 10. I don't think I did. I don't think on my letterbox. Anyway,
Die Hard's a 10 out of 10. Any day of the week.
It probably is. I don't think I've. Oh man. Okay.
It's got everything you need.
It does. You're absolutely right. Again, the only reason it's not on my list, whether it would be 1 or 2, I'm not sure, but is because I didn't deem it a cop movie.
Fair enough.
Because he is there off duty. It's not about the fact that he's a cop at all.
Al Powell, man.
Okay. You're right.
Yep.
Okay.
I know.
All right. Well, then Die Hard would be somewhere on my list, and I guess that would probably knock Super Troopers to 6th.
That's it for the show.
We want to hear your top 5, by the way. Give us your top 5 cop movies.
I know a lot of us probably don't like cops, but they make good movies sometimes. Not cops. Cops don't make movies. Movies about...
I bet you a cop has made a movie. Look, I don't like drug lords, and I liked Untouchables. It doesn't matter.
What about that was a drug lord? Huh?
Oh, yeah, Capone wasn't a drug lord. Sorry. Bad example. I don't like crime. Yes, I do. We got Goodfellas for next week. I'm very excited.
Watch it.
Tentatively excited.
Everybody watch it. Come back on Monday, next Monday, and tell us what you thought about it, because we're going to tell you what we thought about it. And if you're watching the video, you don't have a choice.
Yeah. And stay tuned throughout the week. We're going to be putting out shorts, little clips from this video, some trailers, things like that. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, and give us all your love.
All your love.
Bye.
Bye. All your love.